Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining in today. I appreciate everybody for joining in. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Faith Based Friday. Today, it's going to be something a little different today, right? Uh, I want to still talk about faith or whatnot, but I want to show you guys something cool as we're talking about our faith and just different things like that. And so, one of the good things that I have the opportunity to do today is I have the opportunity to really just show you some merchandise and how I make the merchandise and what that really looks like. Um, you know, Maybe we could get you here to make your own merchandise one day. Who knows? But I'm really excited to show you this. I'm really excited to just give you the inside scoop on the dogs basketball merch and how I make it. Don't mind the mess in the background. So, pretty much what I'm going to do is one, I already have our white hoodie. Our white hoodie is going to be for our mental health hoodies that we're raising funds and awareness for mental health. So if you know someone who have struggled with mental health issues or as someone who has taken their own life or something along those lines, we want to raise awareness for that. We want to take 15% of all sales from this mental health hoodie, and we want to donate to an organization that's going to help raise awareness for mental health. And so, first and foremost, what we're going to do is we're going to turn our machine on here. We're going to make sure that it heats up, gets to the right temperature. I set the temperature for 320 degrees, and then we're going to have it for 30 seconds. So once I get this on the actual press, I'm going to do press once time down just to get the heat going, and after that, I'm going to put some of the actual designs on it. So I have the transfers here, and so the cool thing is that this transfer right here is for the back of the hoodie. It has all of our information as far as social media. So our Instagram, we got our Facebook, our TikTok, and our YouTube on it, as well as our dogbasketball.com website. The other good thing, and hopefully you guys can still see me, but we have our logo for our mental health hoodie as well. And so it shows you at the top, support mental health, no dog fights alone. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be working on today. I'm going to be working on pressing the hoodie. That way it gets the amount of support that it needs to look pretty decent. As you guys can see, I'm wearing my very own dog merchandise. I got the dog hoodie on right now. When I turn around, I got the little design on the back, and then you can't really see it right now, but I got some dog shorts on. Got to support my dogs left and right. They go to battle every single day, and I appreciate that. But how we turn this into faith, right? And so one thing that we have to remember when it comes to our faith, right, is that God created us in His image, right? We are created in the image of God, right? No matter what, God made us, and He saw that we were good. And so when we look at how we create our designs, when you create your design and you look at your design, you know that it's good. You know that you put your hard work, your time, and your effort into designing something, right? And the same thing what we do with our talents. We work so hard to master our crafts, to master our sports, to do something along those lines. But when we do it, we got to give 110%. Leave everything out there on the court. Leave nothing behind. Go all in, right? I said this last week. One of my favorite Bible verses is Colossians 3:23, right? And so it's read in different versions and it's paraphrased differently, but part of that verse it talks about, and whatever you do it as working for God and not for man. So in everything that you do, whether it's something simple as pressing on a hoodie for merchandise, whether it's you stepping on that court, you stepping on that field, you stepping in to do something, make sure that you're giving 110%, right? We appreciate you guys for doing that. So one of the things too is I want to shout out everyone who's in the chat right now. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for showing love. So I appreciate you guys for just joining me on another faith-based Friday and allowing me to just show you around a little bit. Now, right now I am recording on my phone, so some of the comments are small. So if I can't see you, I am sorry, and I do apologize for that. But I do want to shout out everybody from the OG network. We got OG himself at Ron's Opinion Don't Matter. We got Out the Pit. We got Sackcloth Queen. We got Top to Bottom. We got Ant Like the Bug. We got everybody from the OG network out there. So again, I want to shout you guys out and thank you for supporting me and the Delaware Dogs basketball team and everything that we do. Thank you guys for tuning in and actually rocking out with us, right? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to actually put this down, see if I can capture this thing again. Nope, I didn't capture it. It's not a big deal, not the end of the world. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it differently now. But it's a little hot right there. Don't want to put that over there. But I got a large hoodie right here. And so what I'm going to do with this large hoodie is I'm going to put this down. Let me move this hood out the way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press it down once on the hoodie. That way, once it's pressed down, kind of gives it a little bit of a, irons it out, does some good things. But again, back to what I'm talking about. Give everything that you got to God. Leave it on the field. Leave it on the court. Whether you're working in the classroom. One of the biggest things that I stress, as a sports enthusiast, is that your education comes first. Because if you have an injury that happens that takes you out for the rest of the season, takes you out for your career, you want to have something that you can fall back on. And so, have that in the back of your minds, that's something that you can fall back on. All right. So now that that's pretty much ironed out, it looks pretty decent, as far as that goes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move this first and foremost. That way it doesn't get sizzled to my table here. I don't want that to happen. Then what I'm going to do is, this is a little bit big, but probably want to just a little bit more move this down some. See, it takes a little bit of practice here, but as practice happens, you get perfect at it. And so as you can see, I'm just checking the measurements right now. I'm laying it out. I want to have about a couple inches of space. I still got space here. Move it up maybe a little. See, right about there. It looks good to me. Then what I want to do is I want to come over and I want to get this. It looks like parchment paper, but I'm going to put this over top here. And then I'm just going to place it down. Before I do so, let me just make one minor adjustment. You got to master your craft. But like I said, as I tie it back to faith and different things like that, right? It's really just neat to see how when you make something and how good it turns out and how blessed you are to have that opportunity to do something good like that. Not always and not every day do we have the freedom and the opportunities and the capabilities to do something that really we can set our mind to and that we enjoy doing. Life gets to us. Life gets the best of us. You know, we get busy, we get tired, we got family, we got a lot of different things going on in our life that takes us away from our everyday thing, right? And so I challenge you guys as you go throughout your life and as you're going through different things to just really sit there and work on something that you're proud of doing, right? Because at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you and your family. See, one of the things that I really enjoy doing is I really enjoy just talking to people, getting to know people. I like to learn something new every single day. And so that's why I try to do something different every single day on YouTube. And so I appreciate you guys for really just taking the time to come in and to listen to me talk and listen to me make my merchandise, even though I might not know what I'm doing half the time, but I make it work out for me because that's what I need to do. All right, and so once you have that done, this is hot. So I'm gonna actually reset this really fast. That way it's not beeping so much. And then after I reset that there, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually keep it on just a little bit longer. But what you wanna do is you wanna be able to peel back this logo here. And if you feel like as you're peeling it, it's just coming off, it's not sticking, go ahead and put that paper right back on and press it down, right? And so you see, I got it here, and it looks pretty good to me, honestly. The only thing I got to do is I'm going to put it back on for about 30 more seconds at the bottom here, just because this bottom part didn't get hit. So I want to make sure it actually gets hit the right way. That way it sticks on. And like I said, these are going to be for sale. $45 a hoodie. One second. All righty. Let me see if I got my microphone back here. maybe you guys can hear me now. Let me take this off because I'm struggling with it on my neck anyway. So you put that to the side really fast. And if y'all can hear me, just give me a thumbs up in the chat. You want to go ahead and remind me never ever again to use my phone to do these live streams because I can't see not one comment at all. But we'll work with it. We'll work with it. And so I'm gonna do the same thing to the back here. Get this back going really fast. Don't ask me why I decided to turn that off. Probably dumb on my end. I'm gonna turn it right back on. Now, what I want to do is I want to even this out on the back side here without burning myself. And I want to flatten it out so it's about even on both sides. Let's see. Yep, just about even. So I know this is dead center. I'm gonna press this down really fast. So while that's happening, I'm pressing this down and it's just ironing it out, whatever. Again, is when we talk about our faith, when we talk about how we create stuff, when we talk about how God created us in his image and how God loved and saw what he made was good. In the same way, in the same concept, when you create stuff, when you do stuff, when you look at it, be proud of the stuff that you do, be proud of the work that you do, because it's really going to go a long way. When you're confident in what you do, when you love what you do, it really just sparks a different energy. It sparks a different vibe. And people want to be around you when you got that positive vibe and that good energy. And, they want to take that and they want to go the distance. So I'm challenging you guys to go the distance. And sorry, I keep going off camera. I got to go get my little transfer here. But, when you speak about the good things and you look back at the good and know that in everything that you do is going to be good. And I mean that in a sense when you create something, when you're out there on the court doing something, right? We're not talking about, oh, go rob a store, go rob a bank or anything like that and think that that's okay, because by no means am I saying that's okay. So what I'm trying to tell you is go be a craftsman, a handyman, go do something positive with your life. And let's expect the good to come out of that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to press down part of it, and then I'm going to move the hoodie up to press down the other part. That way, it gives me enough space. I got a small heat press, so it kind of sucks. Um, so I'm working with what I got here. But again, as you guys see, that I'm doing everything that I can do to make this look good and appealing to the eye and pleasing to the eye. And so, I take my time and I take my pride in everything. The logos and stuff I design myself. The merchandise, like I said, I design myself. As you see, I'm pressing myself and I'm doing everything to ensure that this is good for the consumer. And so, I'm going to try to do here, move this up a little bit more. Go ahead and bring it up some more. And we go ahead and try to reset that. It's a good thing about this though is I can bring it up just a little bit more. And then what I'll be able to do is swing it around in hopes that this doesn't get messed up. So what I'm going to do is now, all right, perfect. Just a little trial and error here, guys. Just a little bit. Nope, nope, nope. Ain't doing that. Don't want to mess that up. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to turn this sideways.
And I'm gonna have to get some help to keep this looking spectacular. But again, even with me turning this sideways, it still looks good. And that was probably the better option. I don't know why I didn't think about that earlier. But we all make mistakes. I ain't perfect, guys. I'm all right with that, though. But yeah, I'm really appreciative of everybody just joining in. Like I said before, one of the things I want to do with Faith Based Fridays, I want to be able to tune in. I want to bring different people on. I want people to talk about their faith. I want people to express their feelings. I want people to really just give a different perspective on what they believe in, why they believe in it, and how we can tie it back to something that we do. For me, it's sports. So I try to tie my faith back to sports every single day that I'm doing something. And so I wanted to show you guys this because it was really awesome just to show you how I make the merchandise or whatnot and how it's pressed on or whatnot. And so, yeah, that's scorching hot. So don't ever do that without your gloves on. Uh, I was tempted to do that. So I did it, but, that's not ready just yet. I'm going to press it down one more time. Is sometimes, you might get it down there and it might not work, but it's okay. It's okay to take one, two, three, four, as many chances as you may need to be successful. Keep taking those chances. It's okay to fail. Why? Because when you fail, you get back up and you try again and you learn from those mistakes that you made. You learn from that quote unquote failure. See, I don't like to use the word failing or failure or nothing like that because there's life lessons. And when you have an opportunity for a life lesson, you take that opportunity and you learn from it, right? So, God gives us opportunities for many life lessons. So we should take advantage of those life lessons in full fledged. So actually, that's not coming off at all. Good. What I'll have to do is let me try with parchment paper on it. And then let me put this on top. And let's see if this will help out. If not, yeah, that's a bad day. But that's all right, guys. I ain't complaining. I ain't complaining. Not too much. Not too much. We're gonna see though. Even if it's messed up, we still could give it away. Still got some support on it. And I still like it anyway because I did it. That's why. That's a little hot, hot. Mhm. And what I'm gonna do just for the good sakes to make sure like some of this that's peeling off a little bit, that's okay. But put this parchment paper back over top of it really fast. And honestly, I don't need to. You just do it real fast over that. Press down and start for 30 seconds. Hey, but if you guys want to come on to Faith Based Friday, check us out. Talk about what your faith is, what you believe in, and anything like that. Feel free to just shoot me a message, whether it's on the email address that's in my bio here, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, any social media, just shoot me a message and let me know. I would love to have you guys on here to talk about your faith, what you believe in, and how we can tie it back to sports, how we can tie it back to your everyday life, and your perspective and your faith as a whole, because I think that's important as well, to kind of have that. And so I'm excited for how this really came out. So that's the back of it. Boom, boom. I did that. Yeah, y'all see that? I did that. Here's the front of it right there. Boom, I did that. So, I'm pressing my stuff here in house on my own. I'm doing that. So, if I can do that, then, I would love and appreciate the support from you guys, the efforts. You guys can't see it right now, but in that box that's on the ground right there, that box right there, I got a bunch more hoodies in there. The same color. I got more logos like this and I got more logos like that I can sit there and I can press on and I can show you guys. And if you guys want to purchase, I would love that. So that way you can support the Delaware Dogs men's basketball team on their endeavor and everything that they're doing. The support from the community means a lot to us. We appreciate everything. The other thing too is that we want to get our name out there. We want this that as well. But the reason I built this organization, for the Delaware Dogs was to build a solid foundation in my faith, but also to help other young men have a platform to use God as their platform and their foundation and their faith, and then build our program based on our faith and different things like that. So that was part of the reason. But I get the opportunity not only to mentor and to coach up these young men, but also to take it to the next level and talk about their faith. Sometimes I get to speak to a player or two about their faith and where they're at in life and different things like that. And I want to encourage everybody that's in the chat. I want to encourage everybody that's watching live. I encourage you guys to don't get discouraged about your faith. Speak out, speak loud and proud about your faith. Be bold and be confident, because you never know who's watching. We tell our kids all the time, do the right thing even when no one is watching. Do the same thing with your faith. Proclaim your faith, profess your faith loud and proud, even when no one is watching. You never know what can come out of that. I'm doing my best to build up a franchise basketball team so that way we can use this as a platform to support young men and achieving their goals to go play basketball overseas or to play basketball in the NBA one day. I want to be the first NBA team in the state of Delaware. But we'll see how that goes. God may have other plans for us or whatnot. And so I appreciate you guys. I really do appreciate you guys really for tuning in and just hearing me talk and make my merchandise. Sometimes we get a little distracted and that's okay. But don't let the enemy distract you, right? Don't let the enemy distract you, because what God has in store for you might be something completely different and you may not know. So again, don't let the enemy distract you. I got my cup of ice because I like to eat ice, but it started to melt anyway. So I'm gonna just drink this ice water. That's refreshing, by the way. But don't let the enemy distract you from what God has in store and what God has planned for you in your life. Be loud and proud about your faith and profess it proudly, because we never know when the world is going to end. We never know when our time may come to an end. So live in today and live in the moment, because tomorrow is not guaranteed or promised. Tomorrow has its own problems that needs to worry about. So let tomorrow worry about tomorrow and we stay in the present. We focus on what's happening today, and we really, really want to dive deep and grow from there. I really appreciate the love and support from everyone, because it goes a long way. It means a lot. And so what I challenge you guys to do is I challenge you guys on a greater scale of things is to keep a journal, keep track of how your day's going. Put down some thoughts. Find a spot in your house that you can call a prayer room, where you just go into that space and you just pray. You talk to God. You really profess what's on your mind and your heart, and let it out. Get some sticky notes, write some thoughts down, put it up there, and pray. And use one side of that room, office space, closet space, whatever it may be, for all prayer requests that would have been answered, and then use the other side for prayer requests that still need to be answered, right? It's okay to pray, and it's okay for those prayer requests to take time to get answered. So just bear with me 1 second, guys, while I take a look at some of the comments on YouTube here. That way I can see who's talking and I can try to answer some comments that way. Like I said, I'm on my phone, so I really can't see anything from my phone. It's so small, and I'm still learning a lot with this new technology day and age kind of thing. So yeah, just with me really fast while I try to pull up um, the comments, and that way I can see who's talking, who's not. That's all right though. So I appreciate everybody. Thank you for the support from everyone. But don't let this just be like a 1 day thing, right? I want to challenge you guys to make this a multiple day thing, right? Find it in your hearts, your opportunities to just go talk to someone because it means a lot. You never know who God will put in your path to talk to. You never know who God's going to put in your path to help. You never know who God's going to put in your path to make you stronger because God's going to close one door, but then he's going to open another door. God's going to make you stronger, whether you want to believe it or not. So I made the one hoodie tonight out the pit, but I do have more hoodies in the bag there. I'm not trying to blow my breakers here. So I just tried to make that one hoodie really fast. And that's why I just made the one hoodie. But I do just have the white hoodies. I do have the support mental health. I do have two mediums in stock right now that I can make, and then whoever wants to buy those can buy them. I have two smalls in stock as well that I can make and then ship them out for whoever wants to buy them. I do have two larges and two extra larges. Yeah, so that's all I have in stock is two small, two medium, two large, two extra large. And then once they go, I'm just going to replenish that with the funds that comes in. And then again, like I said, it's 15% of all sales that's made is going to be donated back to an organization that supports mental health. I have one in mind. I met this lady in person. Her husband actually committed suicide. And I know she lives up in Michigan, and she started a nonprofit organization to support mental health and help soldiers who struggle with mental health and different things like that. So I want to, kind of support that cause and kind of go from there. But it takes an army. So for everybody that's watching that would love to support me, that's the best way that you can support is by purchasing a mental health hoodie. That way we can support those veterans and everyone that's struggling with mental health and get them the resources and the needs that they need so that way we can kind of take it from there. Mental health is a big thing for me. And so I want to take that opportunity and I want to spread the love. I want to spread the cheer and I want to spread the joy for everyone. I find it interesting that we only, raise awareness for different things once a month or one weekend or a day or something like that. But why not take a whole year and raise awareness for mental health instead of just using the month of May? Why not take awareness and raise awareness for cancer and different things like that for more than just a month or a day? We're all that we got, and we're our biggest supporters. And so it's really really interesting to know that we have a platform that we can use that can grow, that we can build on. And why not build on this platform by speaking up for the injustice, speaking up for what we believe in and what's right? And so that's what I'm doing is I'm speaking up for what I believe in. I'm speaking up to let you guys know that yes, I believe in Christ and that Jesus came to die on the cross for my sins and that He is the only way to heaven. But I also want to let you guys know that I'm speaking up for those who struggle with mental health, for those that have anxiety, that have depression, that have PTSD. I'm speaking up on their behalf and letting them know that I got their back, I got their six, and that if they need anything, they can reach out and talk, and I'll be the shoulder that they can lean on and listen to. It's not always about giving advice or giving some type of words back, because you can be more effective by being silent and listening and letting them know that you may not have the answer, but all you can do is listen and let them voice their frustration and their concerns. It means a lot. And so find something that you guys care about that really that means a lot to you and really just talk about it. use your platform to speak up and to speak out about it. You know, have the faith, have the courage to do that. And that's what I want to challenge you guys. Is outside of, writing these things down and praying for them, taking that step, that leap of faith, and speaking up and speaking out about what you believe in and why you believe in that. Like I said, I'm using this platform to open it up on Fridays for Faith Fridays. We're talking, faith. We're talking our beliefs, how we can relate it back to sports, how we can relate it to our everyday life, and we're going to make it something. You guys missed a great show yesterday with Unfiltered Sports. Unfiltered Sports, it got live, it got electrifying, it got exciting, and we do that every single Thursday. Mondays, we do Mental Health Mondays, where we try to, talk about something mental health related and raise the awareness for mental health, right? And we talk about team team talk Tuesday. We talk about the team and the direction of the team and where the team's going, different things like that. And Wednesday, we talk about building our business and our brand. I missed Wednesday just due to not feeling good. And so I apologize for that one. But I took what I was going to do Wednesday, which was make these hoodies, and I brought it to today to show you guys what I can do and how something that I made, I'm confident in. I'm electrified and I love it because it's good and I made it. And it took my hard work, my effort to make the hoodies that I got. And as I continue to do that and continue to show, like I'm doing this in the comfort of my home. Like I got my Christmas tree set up back there. I got my table right here. I got my little island set up right here. I'm doing everything in the comfort of my home. I don't have a store to do merchandise and different things like that. So I'm doing it out of the comfort of my home while my kids are sleeping. And I'm trying to make a living, not only for myself, but a living for my basketball players and my basketball staff members to raise funds and awareness for the team so that way we can get the support that we need to be successful out there. And so I appreciate those who have already supported us by sharing our content, sharing our social media pages, by sharing the things that we're doing, by buying merchandise already. And those who bought merchandise, I appreciate it. Rock Your Dog's hoodie. And we might throw a day out there where we get people on the live that just rock their dogs, just rock your dog merchandise. And we just talk about it on a Wednesday. You know what? That might be a good idea for this upcoming Wednesday. And actually, that's a bad idea. I'm sorry, because this upcoming Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, is Christmas Eve. So go spend time with your families, go have fun. I can get on for a quick 10 minutes on Wednesday, celebrate some holiday spirits or whatnot. But I really want you guys this Christmas to really enjoy the time with your families, enjoy the time with your loved ones, to appreciate the company that your family may bring. Keep all the negative energy, vibes, and drama at home. Don't bring them out. We don't want to bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. We want to keep them out, keep them out, keep them out. And we want to celebrate that Christ was born. We want to celebrate the unity and one and everybody coming together and spending time with each other and just bringing that Christmas spirit back. I pray that we get some snow for Christmas, because then we can have a white Christmas, and just watch the snow fall and just have snow on the ground, and you can go out and do something Christmas spirited at the same time. And so just think about that as well. So we are blessed in many different ways. And it's funny because them Eagles gonna need some prayers. Yeah, I know, but that's all right. But I do appreciate it, guys, for sure. Like, you don't know the support that you guys are bringing to me by just being on the live, by commenting, by liking, by sharing, or anything like that. But I want you guys to really just get in the holiday spirit. Really just see where you are at spiritually, whether you believe in God, whether you don't believe in God. And just think about it. You never know what God can do and how God can work wonders in your life just by a simple conversation that you can have with Him. Because Christianity is not a religion, but it's a relationship with God, and how you have a relationship with God. Because where I'm at with my relationship in God is not where you may be at with your relationship in God. We may be in two different spots. You can help guide me, and I may be able to help guide you, right? But there's a person in the Bible that is talked about a lot. His name's Paul. See, Paul went out and mentored Timothy, right? And Timothy was just a young kid. And I reference those two a lot because We need to have that Paul in our life, that person that we can go to, that OG that we can go to, that can mentor us, that can guide us through our lives, that can teach us what we need to know instead of what we want to hear. Sometimes we need to have those hard conversations on what we need to know instead of what we want to hear. Because sometimes when we hear those yes men and yes women, they just tell us what we want to hear, and it's not helping us grow. It's just holding us back. It's hindering us from being successful and from being the people that God has called us to be. So go find a mentor that's gonna to be honest, that's gonna be truthful, up in your face when you mess up, letting you know, hey, that's wrong, that's wrong. But also go do the same thing for someone. Go mentor them. Go talk to them. Go tell them when they mess up. Teach them that they're doing wrong. Love on them because God loved us. It's simple. It is real simple. And the way the world is going today is that we're going away from love and we're going towards war. We're going towards enemies. We're going towards everything but love and being in God's word and trusting that God has a bigger and better plan for our lives. So just think about it because it means a lot. Not only just to me, but it may mean a lot to the person that's watching you. Remember, somebody's always watching you, and it could be from a distance. Honestly, you never know who's watching you. Now, I had the opportunity to work in a youth group for about a year and a half, and then I stepped away because my my daughter was born, and then school picked up. I wrote a book called Dog Mentality. I'm working on getting it republished and put back out there on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and different things like that. But it was a lot just going on with school and grad school and all of that. But God really used me in that time that I was there to mentor to the youth that was at the youth group that I was involved in. And one of the things that really blew my mind about the youth there was when they asked what was one positive thing that came out of this year. And they said, you guys brought Shaq in to be with us, to teach us. Because I was someone that they could relate to, someone that they can come to and say, hey, listen, I got this going on, or hey, I just need a little bit of tough love. And then it's somebody that can give them tough love. But no, like you need to have a mentor that can call you out on the spot, not necessarily in front of everyone, because that can become embarrassing, but pull you aside. Hey, listen, this is a teaching moment right here. You did X, Y, and Z. Why did you do that? Okay, that's different. I didn't understand that, but here's what I would have done instead. Different points of view, different perspectives, but you get the same point across. You got to be able to take that constructive criticism and that feedback from people in order to grow. One of my favorite Bible verses is John 14:6, right? And it says, Jesus answered, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. That tells me right there in itself that the only way to God the Father is through Jesus Christ the Son. Another verse in the Bible, it said, I am the vine, you are the branches. If a man remains in me and I in him, he will bear much fruit. That when you stay in Christ Jesus, you're going to produce the fruit of the Spirit. We talked about this last week with John 3:16 and 17. For God so loved the world that he sent his one and only Son, that whoever shall believe in him shall not perish but have eternal life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him. It's simple. It's easy. It's put out there for us. See, the way I think of the Bible is how we should be living our lives. The rules of life is written out in the Bible right there. And know that as we continue to dig deep into God's word and we continue to just deny ourselves and pick up our cross daily, that it's not going to get easy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's going to get easier. But you can have a peace that surpasses all understanding. You can have a joy. You can have, love. You can have something that's just going to make you happy. And you're going to feel a difference in what you're doing every single day. I like to carry a sports Bible with me but I also like to carry a mini-sized Bible. I like to carry it in ESV because ESV is easier for me to understand. It's the English Standard Version. I also like the New Living Translation as well, but it gives you different perspectives on how different words are put into some of the verses when they're translated. But English Standard Version has always been my favorite version of the Bible to read and pick up. It's just easier for me to understand and comprehend. But before games, when I played in college, I would pray. I would read a verse of the Bible or a passage and do a devotion before every game. I got this from my volleyball coach. He instilled that into me. I learned it from the basketball team in college as well. Prayer after every game, before every game. It does something different to you as a student athlete, as a Christian student athlete at that, right? But trusting that God is working in you and in that team, it does a lot for you guys. And I'll be the first to sit here and say that if you ever just want to have a conversation about my faith and what I believe in, tap in with me. I don't have the answer to everything, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I do have the answer to everything. But I can get the answer. We can do some research. Don't always trust what's coming out of someone's mouth, but pick up God's word, the Holy Bible, and read it. And we know that the Bible is God's word because in John 1:1, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. I'm just saying, right? The information is there. And I can keep on cooking and pulling out different verses or whatnot. But I wanna save this for other people that can come in, that can sit down live with me, and we just talk about our faith and have a conversation. Not even argue or anything, but have a conversation about why you believe in what you believe in and how what you believe in is it going to relate back to to your everyday life and what you're doing in the season that you're in, and how what I believe in, how it relates back to my sports and my everyday life and what I believe in. So it's easy, but this is what people need to hear, the truth and God's honest truth at that. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, for watching, for being in the comments. Come back next week and check us out on Monday for Mental Health Monday, because you don't want to miss it. I'm going to come in Monday. I'm going to do my best to bring some resources out there and try to get the resources for those who are struggling with mental health. I'm going to have a list of contact information for people, hopefully, that you can reach out to. No matter what state you're in, no matter where you at, there's always someone you can reach out to get you the help and the resources that you need. Let's tap in. Let's plug in with each other. Because you don't have to fight this battle alone. We can fight this battle together. We stand tall as one nation under God. But we're going to fight this battle. Because if nobody else got your six, just know I got your six. So again, thank you guys for tuning in on the Dog Nation Network. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Stay blessed, stay humble, stay proud. Love everything that you do. Y'all have a great night.